Hey everyone, so it has been a while since I've made a video and that sucks because I really like making videos. So I want to make more just of kind of random things on the second channel like I mentioned. But you saw the video where I got rid of the other 242 unfortunately, but it had to go. Anyways, I picked up this. This is a 1979 242 GT. And believe it or not, this is very rust free. So where I'm from, things like this in a 40-year-old car, that's considered rust free. That's, it's a little hole, whatever. And some dents. Rust free around here is probably different than if you're in some more southern areas, but it's not falling apart. It's got all the floors and it's going to be a great project. So it doesn't run. I mean, it's got some fuel pump issues. I think it's leaking, and this is also a weird fuel pump that you can't actually get anymore. So I gotta figure that out. Because it's a 242 GT, it's got these stickers. They're not anything special, but they're original, which is cool. And then the interior's got this red stripe. And this isn't stock, but I think it's an OEM steering wheel that you could buy. So it's more of like a sporty steering wheel, manual transmission. And in this 78 and the 79, they have this old style dash. I'm sure a lot of the audience isn't Volvo enthusiasts like I am, but some of you might be, and it's kind of interesting. In 80 they changed it to the one you've seen in the wagon. This has a actually I don't know off the top of my head if it's a 2.1 liter or 2.3, but it is a K-Jet car, which is a CIS, continuous injection system, which is like mechanical fuel injection. So it's kind of like how carbs just kind of pump fuel in all the time. It's like that, but it's fuel injection, so the injectors are constantly on, but the system changes the amount of pressure that they get. So it uses like a mechanical baffle that, I could be wrong here, but it takes the air, and the more airflow moves the baffle, which causes more fuel to go into the engine. So it's really basic form of fuel injection. It's not electronic fuel injection, it's mechanical fuel injection. It does turn over. The motor mounts are really worn out. Oh, I forgot I had a battery in here. Cool. So I'm trying to decide if I should mega squirt it or just like slap a carb on it and drive it. I really just want to drive it. Because the K-Jet's been sitting so long and it's got the pump issues and stuff, like it's likely would need like a full rebuild on the whole system. And if I'm going to do that, I'd probably convert it to EFI, or like I said, just slap a carb on it and drive it for some time, because it's easily drivable. It just, it needs brakes. It's been sitting for 10 years. It was in a barn. It's a true barn find. And I do have a bumper for it. The interior was absolutely horrible because it was like a raccoon's house, I think, for a while. So I gave it a really deep clean, but it still needs, I'm going to run this ozone generator for a very short amount of time. Apparently that works. It still kind of smells not great in here. It smells a little bit cleaner, but it's just got a bit of a musty smell. So I know those can like eat plastic and stuff, so I'm a little bit worried about that, but we'll give it a go and see what it does. Must have a little bit of a transmission leak, which is no big deal. Actually, that might be power steering. Don't know. Let's see where it was parked. But yeah, whole complete car, kind of like a dream car. Oh, the other thing with these is it's got a flat hood. So it's kind of like a sportier style. that's one of the differences they had. So it's got these round headlights. This one has the fog lights. Not all of them have that. And this flat hood, because the other style has like a bump, which you saw in my other 242 that got scrapped. So yeah, it's a complete car. So just kind of keep it clean and rust free. But leave a comment on what you think I should do. I'm probably just gonna mess around, do some work on it today, and have a look. Maybe I'll drop the tank because it smells like there's like, I don't know, Varsol or whatever gas turns into in there. And I'll have a look at the pump. I do have some things that I've ordered already, like some later model pumps, but to see if they would fit. See if we find any fuel leaks on it. Hopefully there's no fuel in the tank, but I don't think it's rusted out. We'll see. So this is the top of the fuel tank. There's like a locking ring here. And these fuel tanks use a metal locking ring. Modern ones use plastic, but these are just notorious for just becoming pure rust and don't come out. So it's a huge pain to try and get to work through this tiny hole, which is hilarious. I always find it funny that they make this hole like just the right size for you to get things in and out of. But really it's just, it doesn't need to be that small. Anyways, I should probably just drop the tank. We'll disconnect these hoses and yeah, it's probably a good place to start because this thing isn't running with this tank. I need to have a look inside. So I'm gonna drop the tank, but it's actually the next day. After talking about it, thinking about it, I'm not gonna carb this car. I'm actually going to, I was talking to my friends who might have some parts. Someone was gonna have, I just need like the manifold and the injectors and a couple of smaller things, and then I can convert the whole fuel system. Then I looked online at a local junkyard, and there was a turbo car there, and they don't pop up very often, so I only need the manifold. Ended up getting a whole turbo kit. I don't know if the whole thing will go on this car right away. I'll probably just EFI swap it first, keep it naturally aspirated, and then maybe later on we'll pop the turbo on. But let's drop the tank. Just gotta get these hoses off first. But all of this stuff is being replaced, so don't need to be that gentle. Oh, and you can see why. That just rusted right off. So the metal came off easier than the rubber. Huh. This one has a nylon line on it. So I'm gonna break it off too. That's weird, I didn't know they ran a nylon. This would be really hard to get on the tank because you have to like heat them up and press them on. Usually there's a fitting. Okay, just broke that off. Oh, this smells like old gas. The smell reminds me of my grandpa's workshop that I used to play around in. He passed away when I was really young, but left all this stuff, and I would hang out at my grandma's place and mess around in his shop. I think these are 14s. Hoping there's, oh, there might be fuel in there. There is a drain plug. Maybe I'll pull that. I don't even know if this fuel will burn. Hopefully there isn't more than... I don't know, I can't tell if there's fuel in it or not. Looks like a 10. It's about to smell really bad in here, I think. Yeah, that is some old gas. By the way, again, well, that drains. This is what I mean by rust-free. Some of you would probably cringe at this, but it's all here. It's rusty, but it's not full of holes. Like, you could take a wire wheel to most of this stuff and it'll look brand new. Well, that's draining. Let's get access to the filler neck. The tank actually looks in good condition, but it's going to be whether or not the filler neck area is still usable, because it kind of rots there as well. You can get new tanks. They're not that expensive, but they're thinner. They're not as good as the originals. A couple of repairs here for sure. I can do my own. So here's the filler neck, and this has an older style seal, but I think you can get the wagon has a nicer one. So I definitely need to order one there. So there's definitely some repairs and a couple of rust spots, but what's nice is it's mostly intact, so I can just do little patches, something that's like totally manageable. So I can grind all this and see how it looks. It's funny, in the later ones they curve this down and they're called butt cheeks. So this one doesn't have any, so it's flat. But on the wagon, you can't really see them. But there's like a spot. It goes deeper so that you can put a spare tire in here. There's just a little bit more room. And a lot of people will cut them off and get rid of them because they look kind of dumb. And you can still fit a spare there. I wonder if this even catches on fire anymore. Still one here. This one most likely to break, which is okay. Usually put something underneath to support it, but it's not that heavy. There it is. Tank looks pretty good. think that's a pinhole. I think we got a pinhole. Okay. Stop messing with this one and get a new tank. So everything looks pretty good. You know, this is probably not an original tank, but yeah, I mean, for the age of the car and for what I've seen on much newer cars anyways, I was looking and wire wheeling, some deep pitting, but right here, that's a pinhole, and it's so tiny and honestly would never leak, but it just makes me not trust it, right? So you'd get vapors out of there, but they'd probably be the same amount that would leak out of the gasket there. Oh well, just confirms I need a new tank. That's fine, I'll get one today. Good news is the filler neck looks perfect. The one I just took out of the 93 had pinholes in it. I just had to replace it. For curiosity's sake, just gonna have a look. This metal ring, it actually came off. This is this makes me think maybe this was replaced not too long after being parked. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. That is weird. Weird crystals. Okay, I'm just gonna put that back in there. It can stay in there. I saw what I needed to see. There's this special tool for installing this, but you can usually get away with like a screwdriver as well. All right, that's that. So side note, I recently did a project that I was talking about before. It involved high voltage and some stuff, and anyways, I blew up some copper wire testing something, and this is one of the pieces that went right through the garbage bin. I've been finding these pieces of copper everywhere. Some embedded in my sweater that was hanging up. I was like safely protected, but still probably not enough. And one other thing, kept finding glass everywhere, and then I noticed that my garage door window is broken from the inside. So that was another piece of copper, and that was about 15 feet away. So this one scares me the most. That's a lot of energy to break that window. Everything else, yeah, it's pretty bad. That's sharp shrapnel, but that one, yeah. But it's gone, so I'm safe now. Right, let's move on to the fuel pump. Let's see what's going on there. Just gonna make a bit of space. Don't try this at home. There we go. Actually, let's put it on ramps so I can get a little bit more access. So there's a fuel pump holder under here. Usually they're pretty rusty. Oh yeah, this one's not even connected anymore. Just kind of sitting there. So this is the pump that you can't get anymore, which isn't a big deal because there's a lot of other options. But now that I'm changing it to EFI, I'm not really going to use any of this. And this is a bit too rusty, so I don't know if I can... I think you can get these somewhere, I don't know. We'll have to see. I know you can get these rubber things. so I'll just break that one. See what I mean about rust-free? Like, you know, no holes. There's some rust, but this is what we call rust-free up here. Here's the pump. I just cut the wires off. This is called an accumulator, and as far as I'm aware, makes the pressure constant. So I think there's like a spring baffle in here, and as the pressure of the fuel increases, the spring kind of regulates it. So if there's a sudden need for pressure on the feed line to the engine, then it will maintain it even if the pump can't manage it. And then when that sudden need goes away, then it fills back up. But I think it's happening very fast. It's kind of smooth out the feed line to the engine. But I won't need that anymore. Usually the brake lines are a copper or nickel or whatever they're called, and that usually means they're intact. However, the fittings can often be steel, and those are just, yeah, non-existent. So fun. Look at the size of that drive shaft. It's tiny. So I was trying to figure out what my plan was for this right now, and I think I'm just going to pull all the fuel related things. So we'll take the intake manifold off. We already got the pump and the tank, and we'll take off the fuel filter and just kind of clean up the engine so we can assess what we're going to do for the fuel injection. It's so dark over here. That's better. So under the manifold here, there's a part of the K-jet system where there's like a baffle, and it detects, well, it doesn't detect, but it moves based on how much air the engine is pulling in, and that determines how much fuel there is. We're going to remove all that. We'll remove these injectors. These are right into the head, so we'll have to make some plugs for those, possibly, depending on what we do. And yeah, it's not a lot of stuff because, well, it's not super complicated. Huh. Literally just stuffed in a hole. Honestly, one good idea to do would be a compression test on this motor. So I just went and picked up a compression tester, so before I start taking everything off, I'm going to pull these plugs and spray some lubricant stuff in there. Crank it over. I got the battery charging right now. It'll look okay. But the car hasn't run in a long time, so it doesn't really matter. Who knows? Battery's pretty dead, so I tried to crank it over and it just killed the battery, so I'm not really able to do a compression test. Just a support bracket that this doesn't snap off. I'm trying to pull this rubber thing out of here. So this screw I had to cut. Then I remove these two rubber mounts and figure out what else is holding it in, but I think it's not too much. Okay, so I'm gonna cut these fuel lines. They're pretty rusted. Don't hate me, K-Jet people. I'm sure they're kind of sketchy at this point. I'd rather leave the injectors in for now and not get a bunch of rust and dirt in the cylinders. Ouch. I think there's one more rubber bushing holding this in. One I really can't see. Oh. Oh, it's got old fuel in the face. So let me show you what I mean. This is the part I just took out. These 4 connections go to the mechanical fuel injectors. And you got fuel lines coming in. Your air goes in here, and as air is passing through, you can see this lifts up, and how much this lifts up is going to affect how much fuel is going into the system. It's pretty neat. Battery's still dead. And it's one of those digital ones, so it'll probably not fix it. So the battery's actually gone down. I've been charging it. The charger's saying it's lower, which might be a good thing because it was reading 100% and obviously not cranking, so maybe some things are being repaired, but where are we at? So with the charger on, let's see, take that off. 12.8, dropping kind of quickly, but that's better. So we might be able to do a compression test on it. All right, we'll do cylinder 1, probably run out of charge, and we'll charge it up a bit again. That wasn't good. I'll tell you why that wasn't good. Okay, let me just double check something. But if you notice, that read 0. Oh, maybe it's just a stuck valve. Yeah, that's in there. So, what you didn't see, but what I felt, this is a breather. Port for the engine, crankcase, the head, whatever. Usually goes to the intake. When I was cranking it, I felt a lot of air coming out of there. The only way that could be if there's something going on with the valves or the rings. Actually, really, there's a lot of things, because it's pushing air into the crankcase of the engine. Let's do that again. Maybe I'll put like a piece of paper here or something. You'll probably see that flutter when we crank it. We'll see. $60. But also we're not cranking very hard. Okay, so scratch that. There is a bit of air coming out of there, but we are getting compression. 60 is not a lot, that's for sure. I'm gonna keep letting that charge. Let's. Getting 100 on that one. Not really giving us a lot of time to charge back up, but getting a couple of cranks out of it. It's about, say 75, it's a little over. 75 on 3. All right, we're getting 100 on 4. So 60, 100. What was it? 75, 100. So I just picked up an axle for the 242. Took it off of my friend's parts car. This should be fun. Not quite as heavy as the engine. What I love about this cart is that it goes to the exact height of the tailgate of the truck. Easy. This cart is honestly one of the best things I've ever purchased. It's just super versatile, especially every time I have something heavy that fits on it that's in the truck, it's just like I slide it right out like you saw, and then put it wherever I need to. Like that. This one is out of a 90, maybe 90, 1990 240. That one's a 79, but basically everything stays the same. The rear ends are a little bit different, but all the mounting points are the same. Actually, it could be the exact same rear end, who knows. But one of the differences, it has an electronic speedometer signal there, which that one, it's all mechanical, but I can actually use that if I'm doing like traction control or something, or if I upgrade the cluster. But yeah, got a couple of brakes because the ABS brakes on the wagon are hard to come by, and the drive axle on this 242 is also super rusted. That one looks like it's brand new, which is awesome. So it wasn't too hard to get this out, but it's gonna be a fun day of taking the old one out, grinding all the rust, and putting the new one back in. Watch your toes. Probably reuse them if I really wanted to. They're OEM Volvo. These always get super seized up around here. So that's pretty much everything stripped off of there. A couple more little things could come off. Just gonna clean it up. I'm actually gonna sandblast all the other parts because I just picked up a sandblaster for basically nothing. These bushings have seen better days. These are fun to replace because these two metal brackets are like floating. They're not connected at the bottom, so when you try to pull it out, it like pinches them together. I don't know why they just don't put like, I mean, I could even do it. I could put a bracket on the bottom and just weld it in permanently. I don't think that matters. I don't know if that would help anything. Most people just put a spacer in there when they're pulling it out. no nice way to drain these cars. Woohoo! How's that for a catch? Heavier than it looks. strip the last one. Why not? Okay, the engine should be completely disconnected. Motor mount, good condition. It's out. Oops. Oh, these transmissions are not light. Way heavier than the T5. Oh. All right, I think I'm gonna call it there for this video. So I've been working on this on and off for a long time, a month, I don't know, a couple hours here and there. It was actually gonna be a couple of videos, but I just put it into one. So yeah, we're at a good point with the car. And I think I'm gonna start doing weekly, bi-weekly, or videos more often of stuff I'm doing in the shop, but right now it's gonna be some car stuff just because I'm trying to get this running. So the plan for this is I am going to put this motor in that car, not the V8, probably gonna put that in the wagon. So this is the engine that I rebuilt maybe like 12 years ago. It was out of the other silver 242 and it's like fully redone. It's got some pretty awesome stuff inside and it deserves to go in something. And the point is that I just want to get that car running. So this is going to go in it. There's going to be a couple more videos to get that going. I've got, transmission. I'm trying not to put a lot of money into it. I just kind of want to use what I have lying around so it's not lying around anymore. And yeah, I've got a like T5 transmission out of a Mustang. And the clutch in this wasn't that bad. The clutch that I did have in the other car was like bending and breaking pedals and stuff. It was way too strong. So I'm going to put a stock clutch in it for now, and just to get things rolling and moving around. And so it's not right in the middle of the shop. That's really the plan. So like I said, maybe some automotive stuff coming, but second channel is going to have all sorts of crazy stuff. And I think on the main channel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like the Mega Squirt or custom fuel system install. So that is the plan for that. It's going to be more of an in-depth video with some tech stuff and making circuit boards. So it's more of a main channel video, but yeah. Things going well. Got to do some brakes and yeah, just getting rid of the surface rust because it drives me nuts. And the goal is to like have the car where I can work on it and not get like super greasy. Yeah, just getting rid of as much rust as possible and painting it. It's not going to be driven in the winter really, like maybe just to move it or something. So I'm not too worried about it. And we'll see I don't know what the plan is for it, but it's a cool car. It deserves to be driven. And it's not going to be restored. 100% not going to be restored. But I like the way it looks. It's driven, it's had a good life. It sat in a barn for 15 years, so let's get it back on the road. Here's most of the parts that came out of the car. Hopefully someone will use that transmission. It's called an M46, and it's a 4-speed overdrive, which is kind of interesting. And then there's just a lot of scrap aluminum that's gonna go. Anyways, everyone, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for hopefully more frequent videos. See ya!